Quarterfinals of the Rugby World Cup done and dusted. We move on to the semi-finals. Here's your preview with Couch Coach Sports. How's it, guys, and welcome to Couch Coach Sports. Today we're going to be previewing the semi-finals of the Rugby World Cup. With me, as always, my assistant coach, Bjorn. Bjorn, brother, how are you?
Bro, as always, delighted of the Boca victory. Big weekend ahead though. The English gonna maybe be a tough one for us, and we got New Zealand, Argentina as well. Can I just mention this before we start? Southern Hemisphere domination once again. All these European pundits, go fuck yourselves. You guys most of the European pundits said that all the Six Nation sides, or at least all the European sides, were gonna qualify for the semis, and now only one qualified.
They always do that, bro. They always overrate themselves. But
Big
okay,
time.
fair enough. Ireland probably the biggest disappointment of this World Cup. But bro, we both know that it's not a thing of that they choke every time. They don't know what it's like to go further in the World Cup. They can strive
They've
before the
never
World Cup.
gone
but come
past
on.
the quarterfinals though. They've never gone past the quarterfinals. This was their year. I thought, just like everyone else, Bandi Aki's flying. I can't even think of any other Irish players. Peter O'Mahony, Josh van der Vliet. I thought they were going to be flying. Easy win over New Zealand. France and South Africa battered New Zealand in the World Cup and just before the World Cup. But then Ireland, as per usual, we mentioned it in our predictions in the beginning. I said there's that little hoodoo with fucking Ireland and the knockout stages of this World Cup. And they once again proved it. They're not like you. I think it might be what you said. They've never been there before, so they don't know how to get there.
Exactly, bro. Like, we look at New Zealand, what they did to Ireland there. They like shell shocked them, bro. They just looked like at all times they were the better team. Of course, a tight game, but they just look like how we looked against France. It just always looked like we know what we're doing. Our plans are here. We're gonna win this game.
But don't the All Blacks look fucking devastating at the moment? They were smashed. Okay, they lost to France. They lost to France, obviously, in the beginning of the thing. Same thing happened in 2019 with the Boca. So anyone, don't write off New Zealand. You can never write them off. But since they've lost to France, they've smashed Italy. Who else did they have in their group? Uruguay, I think they smashed. And there was Namibia.
Yeah.
They smashed all three of those teams. Come in, beat the world's now not anymore, South Africa. But they beat the previous world number one ranked team. Easily, quite comfortably, I thought. I thought it was a tight match, but I actually think that New Zealand, especially Ardie Savea, just that their class was just too much for Ireland in the end.
Bro, what someone said to me, what actually made a lot of sense, for a team to attack for 30 phases and then score is one thing, is a fantastic thing. But to attack for 30 phases and score and defend for 30 plus phases and not concede, that shows the makings of a team that's there to play, bro. And that's exactly what New Zealand did, bro. Yeah, so if that's the case, bro, it's let's go straight into New Zealand, Argentina in the semi-final. Let's go straight in. Who do you think? Easy one. Who wins this game?
I think you and I both are gonna back it. Obviously, Argentina, another side. They kind of remind me of the old French teams of the '90s, the late '90s, where on their day, they can beat anyone. They've got that little bit of flair to their style as well. So, they can do it. Obviously, they can do it. But I'm backing New Zealand. I'm backing New Zealand with this one. I can already envision this, the Africa, New Zealand, 3 World Cup winners going for their 4th. It's written in the stars pretty much now.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking New Zealand for that one. But like I say, Argentina can definitely pull one out of the hat. We saw that excellent interception from Nicolas Sanchez, the old man still doing it on the rugby scene. So, between those two, I'm definitely backing New Zealand. What about yourself?
Yeah, bro, I think just the run-ins to the semi-final again just put New Zealand ahead of them. You know, Wales, they look good at the World Cup again, but they look good against weaker teams, weak Australia, and in terms of this level of rugby, a kind of average Fiji side, and Georgia and all those guys. And again, they didn't look good against the Argentinians. The Argentinians in this year lost quite badly to New Zealand. You know, it was never a case of it looks like they could beat New Zealand. I think it's just going to be pretty much a repeat of what happened in the Rugby Championship this year. I don't see, like, New Zealand's performance against Ireland just looks like they've got everything together. All their main players are on top form. They've got a stronger bench.
Mwanga looking like he's playing at a high level again as well.
Exactly, and you know when his forward pack is going forward, he's probably the best, probably the best number 10 in the world, you know.
Especially especially as a running flower, definitely.
Yeah, and they're gonna be going forward against Argentina as they always do.
Yeah,
I just think it's pretty much a thing of they obviously won't be looking at the final before they sort this game out, but I think the quality is just too much for the Argentinians. And in a way, I kind of feel like the Argentinians are happy with the third, fourth place playoff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they would also be quite happy with the third, fourth. Obviously, every team that goes there wants to win. But a third, fourth place for Argentina, that usually sit around the 5th, 6th ranked nations in the world, I think that's quite a good result once again for them. But like you say, they also had quite an easy running. Both those groups were very poor. You mentioned the Wales group. I don't think they even had a team in the top 5, the rankings. So it just shows you once again that form is temporary, but class is permanent. When it comes to the big tournaments, it's always the same. It's always your general same 4 or 5 teams that end up in the semi-finals. And I think we're going to see it again with New Zealand. I think the class is going to come through against Argentina. They're just hitting form at exactly the right time. So, yeah, I back New Zealand actually to get quite a big victory. They're probably about like 15, 16 points.
Yeah, bro. I also see that situation. I don't think they're going to be conceding a lot of tries, bro. So, and I think they're going to be scoring quite a bit. I think that's probably the easiest semi-final to have. So then, bro, let's move on to the other semi-final.
The big one.
The Boca versus England, bro. What's your thoughts on this one?
Repeat of the 2019 World Cup final. Well, 2007 World Cup final. South Africa and England have had like a rich history in the World Cup. We've seen a lot of moments between the sides throughout the years. But I see once again another Springbok victory. Obviously, South Africa have had the upper hand in World Cups against England. I think we've only lost once in 2003 during the group stages. But now I'm backing us once again to beat them. Obviously, the English are going to be looking for their revenge. They're going to be trying to get to another final. So it's going to be a tough one. I think England are quite, even though when you look at the side, they don't necessarily have an individual brilliant team, but they set up quite nicely. They look like a team that follows the rules, not like the rules of the game, but the rules of how they set up, how they want to play, and they stick to their pattern of play. But I can only see another South Africa victory here. South Africa New Zealand final for me. I think South Africa backline is too strong for the English backline. Same with the forward pack. I just think in all facets we're probably the better side.
Yeah, bro. I get this general feeling from this English team that they like kind of play like a survival game. Do you know what I mean? Just battle it out and scrape a victory, bro.
If you could put it in like a football term, they would be like parking the bus almost. They're trying to just survive, and then get snatched the victory. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. So if I look at, obviously their path to World Cup final, the semi-final was a lot easier than South Africa's. Bro, I just look at individually and as a collective and what the teams have done this year. South Africa are gonna smash them, bro. It's just gonna happen that way. Yeah, bro. So I reckon that South Africa walk away with this one, and we're gonna see a New Zealand South Africa final, bro, for World Cup number 4 for one of the two great rugby nations, brother.
It's only fitting, like I said. Even it feels like it might be destiny. Both of them losing a pool stage game, both going for number 4. South Africa actually going to match New Zealand's record of retaining their title. But I can see both those teams going into the final, and it's going to be one hell of a final. I mean, that's going to be the fucking best. That's the game. For any rugby fan. These are the two top rugby nations of all time. Like, there's no denying it anymore.
Yeah.
And having them in the final is just, I think, perfection at this moment in time.
Yeah, bro, for sure. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us here at Couch Coach Sports. Please leave a like, please subscribe, and leave some comments for us. We'll get back to you guys. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers, everybody.